Good morning.
Happy Wednesday.
Wednesday. I'm Dr. Wendy Sue Massey. You are watching the WOW podcast, Wendy's on Wellness Wednesday. I am a alternative medical practitioner, author, holistic nutrition specialist, wife, mom, Gigi, lover of Jesus, lover of all things natural, gardener, cook. And this is my amazing friend, Wendy Flournoy.
Hi, I'm Wendy Flournoy, certified hypnotist, hypnotherapist, handwriting analyst, gardener, mom, wife, Gigi to 5, soon to be 6, lover of Jesus, lover of all things natural and non-toxic, gardener, cook, maid, janitor.
All the things. We wear many hats. Welcome to our new followers on Twitter. Today is the first day, or excuse me, X. What am I saying?
X.
I just joined there. I am so late to the party, and my sister's been on me. She's like, Wendy, there's no better platform out there right now, especially for what we do, for people that are interested in natural healing, natural health, in the Maha movement and all of that stuff. She says there's no better place. And so I finally listened to my sister, and we are. So,
I'm on there, but I think I'm finally utilizing it a little bit.
Yeah.
I got banned from that platform.
Uh-oh. No, I remember that.
So now I am back on there, and yeah, it's very active and you can get a lot of things off of there that you won't hear anywhere else.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So we have I don't even know why I say this every week. We have a lot to cover. It's Thanksgiving week. I've been going around driving my husband crazy this week because instead of singing "It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas," I've been saying "It's beginning to smell a lot like Thanksgiving." So
That's right.
I have had all the things going, and that's one of the things we want to talk about. It's so funny. People get they think that we're weird the way we cook for the holidays, and I'm like, no, y'all are weird using boxed stuff, using processed foods, using all this. What do you think they did at the first Thanksgiving? They sure won't get in a box of stovetop.
That's right. That's right.
They weren't getting the powdered mashed potatoes. They weren't getting all the things like that. So, I mean, we cook from scratch. That's what we do. And we just know the ingredients to use that aren't going to, have toxins in them and all of that. So,
yes,
I love to share. This is my favorite time of year because honestly, when I started down this path 12 years ago, for anybody who hasn't heard the story, since we do have new followers on X, I am a retired ER and trauma nurse, was very into the whole Western medicine world. And my son got really sick. My son, who's now 31, at the time he was 18, became a type 1 diabetic. And then out of nowhere started having this horrible GI disorder. And it was debilitating to him. And he had been my healthy kid. And I had him in the best of the best doctors. And over 9 months, he got sicker and sicker and sicker as they were throwing pills and procedures at him. And we took matters into our own hands. And I had done a ton of research and was blown away with how little in conventional medicine we're taught about food.
What's that first book that we ever read? The China Study.
The China Study. That was fantastic. Now that was more focused on veganism, but it had the same. It had what we needed to hear at the time.
That was the very first one.
We both read that, and it was so eye-opening about how much we've been lied to about our foods, about what is put into our foods, and all of this. But anyway, so long story short, we were able to heal my son in 5 weeks. 5 weeks. He had been all over to the best of the best doctors. And in 5 weeks time, by by healing him with food, and he was able to run the Richmond 10K. And I mean, it was incredible.
It was fascinating to me to watch him gain weight and watch you lose weight.
Yes. Isn't that amazing? When you're doing what you need to do, I ended up losing 65 pounds. He ends up gaining weight because, bless his heart, he had gotten down to like 118 pounds at 6 feet tall. He was so sick and so scrawny. I have pictures of him. I don't know if you ever remember seeing that picture I had of him holding our chickens back then.
Yeah,
And he looked like a skeleton.
Just frail and very frail looking.
Yes, yes. So now he's super healthy, 31 years old, owns his own business. He does construction. He's in ministry. He's such a vibrant human.
Yeah.
And it's all because we learned how to heal with food. And so this is where my passion is. And anyway, to get back to the holidays.
But the Southern girl in you always cooked a whole bunch this time of year anyway.
Yes, exactly. So that is where I thought I was going to lose my mind. That first holiday season, I literally fixed everything that he could eat and I could eat because I was joining him, to support him. So I fixed everything that he and I could eat. And then I fixed it all again in the, in the way that I had always done it. And I thought, how am I ever going to get through the holidays, without all of my favorite foods that I've always cooked all these years? Well, that was the first and last Thanksgiving.
That's so much work.
Oh my gosh, it was insane. And you know what? My whole point of doing that was trying to make him not feel isolated. Yeah. And I still made him feel isolated because it's like, okay, you can have all these things, but you can't have any of this. Yeah. So I made up my mind after that. I said, there's got to be a better way. And every holiday after that, when my son shows up at the house, he doesn't have to ask me, Mom, what can I eat? It is all for him. It's all for all of us. We all eat clean. We all eat gluten-free. We all eat soy-free. We don't do the processed crap. And we eat better than ever. I mean, the kids love the recipes. My husband loves the recipes. Everybody that ever comes as a guest loves what I cook. And it wasn't overnight. I had to learn how to do a lot of this stuff. It's a different way of cooking. But it can be
trial and error for me on a lot of things.
Yeah, absolutely. But we've gotten back to our roots.
That's right.
Our grandparents, our great-great-grandparents were not going out and getting boxes of stuff, No. And
I don't ever remember my grandma using stovetop.
No. Now, what a lot of people think of as baking, from scratch, they go and they get a loaf of bread from the store and then use that for their own thing. Well, I don't use store-bought bread. Yep. There are a couple out there that I would, but one of the things I'm doing, this is my cheesy skillet bread. Nice. And this is just some of it.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. I always make the weekend before. So I made this on Sunday and I do a huge pan of it because we're going to eat half of it.
Right.
Because it's so good. But I do my cheesy skillet bread and then I cut it in cubes and let it dry out. Because it's such a moist bread and it's incredible. And don't worry, guys, anything we're talking about today, we're going to put the
recipes
in for you because you got to have these.
Yeah, the cheesy skillet bread's amazing.
It is.
It's so versatile.
It is. And it's a low carb too, because this particular one, not all of my stuff is low carb, but this particular one uses almond flour and it's excellent.
Yes.
But yeah, so I do a sausage stuffing with this. And if it's not done drying out, because it is a very moist bread with all the cheese and, the oils from the cheese, especially when you're using a real cheese.
Yes. Yes.
But anyway, so if it's not fully dried out, or if I had forgotten to make it ahead or something like that, and I'm making it today, then you can cube it and put it in the oven at the lowest temperature. I'll do it at like 170 degrees for
just let it dry out.
Yeah, for a couple hours. They make amazing
dehydrating herbs.
Yes, exactly. They make amazing croutons. They're just they're so good. But yeah, I mean, so this is so easy. And if you plan ahead, like I made this on Sunday. I started all of my stock. Can you believe I was out of stock? Girl, I was out of chicken stock. And chicken, beef, turkey, all. I had used it all.
Oh
And
my goodness.
I
I
was
just realized I'm out of beef. I told Rick the other day, I was like, I got to pull those bone marrow bones out of the freezer because I need to make some beef stock.
I do too. One of the things that and I'll go into detail of this today because this is something everybody can start with for
The
a
broth.
healthy kitchen.
Oh, absolutely. And especially this time of year, it's so stinking good for, when if you're not feeling good, drink some of this broth.
And please don't throw away your carcasses for your turkey. You are throwing away gold, y'all.
Yep.
But so I made, isn't that beautiful?
Beautiful.
That is one of my jars. I made 10 quarts of chicken stock. But what I do, and I think Wendy, you do the same. This particular one, I had a bunch of chicken backs from my girlfriend who has a pasture raised poultry farm. And so we've talked about her, Connie.
I love Connie. Faithful Friends Farm.
Yes. If y'all are in the Baltimore County area or in Carroll County area of Maryland, you must go to Faithful Friends Farm.
Check them out. They're wonderful people.
But anyway, so I got some chicken backs from her and put them in. I had 3 slow cookers going since Saturday night.
Nice.
And when you do your own stock, you can use just bones. You can use, if you have a part of a chicken, like, that you're not going to use. A lot of times I'll save, like from the turkey, I'll save the neck, the turkey neck and the giblets. How do you say that? Giblets.
The giblets.
But I'll save that. But anyway, so in this case, I did the chicken backs. And I just threw in some sweet potatoes, some carrots, some onions, garlic, celery, some leek.
And you don't even have to use like fresh produce. You can use the scraps that you've saved and put in your freezer. Yep. I always keep a gallon-sized bag in my freezer, and any scraps that I have while I'm cooking, I'll throw in that bag. And when I get a full bag, I know it's time to make some kind of broth.
Exactly. And that's exactly right. This is why this is the cheapest and most. This is the best step one for you to ever do. If you're trying to learn how to do something natural in your kitchen, this is number one. Because if you go and want to get natural, organic, clean broth at the store, you're going to pay $7 a quart.
It's outrageous.
It's insane.
It's crazy.
And so I just did 10 of these.
Right.
For nothing, with pieces that I would have thrown away.
Yeah.
Usually I'm using the carcass that I used to throw away. I do exactly what you're talking about. I take the pieces of whatever, throw it in the stalks off of broccoli, all that stuff. The only
thing my cabbage leaves that I pull off of the outside. Those. Only thing I actually spend extra money on to put in my broth is the kombu.
That's exactly what I was about to say. I buy the kombu. If anybody doesn't know what that is, it's a sea vegetable. It's a sea type of seaweed, and it is loaded with iodine. Highly recommend that. You can just put 1 sheet in there, and you can buy organic kombu that's American raised right off of the most of the ones I get are off the coast of Maine.
Yep, that's the ones I get.
But and
a lot of minerals and stuff in it too.
Oh man, so much. But we don't have a lot of good options for iodine, and you hear all this BS about needing iodized salt and all this crap, and you don't.
Real salt.
Yes,
real salt.
Please use real salt. We'll have to cover the salt thing one day. But anyway, so yes, kombu, and then I have my spices and my fresh herbs I love to put in there. I always do allspice berries. I do peppercorn and turmeric. I used your freeze-dried turmeric this time.
Yay.
Because I was out of my fresh. I do cloves.
Yeah.
And then my favorite fresh herbs, if I have them on hand, and I did this time because it's Thanksgiving week, I had rosemary, thyme, and sage.
Yes.
But I don't buy all that all the time, y'all.
No,
I
I
know.
always have the herbs on hand. I put oregano in every single batch of my broth.
Mm-hmm.
And rosemary. Those are two that if I don't have anything else, those two are going in there.
Yeah. 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 That's perfect. But anyway, you then can choose. As you see, mine is super dark. That's how I like it. You can choose between 12 and 72 hours
Yep.
of how long you let your stock cook in the slow cooker. You just fill it to the top with water, leave it a little bit of space because it'll tend to
Evaporate.
the steam
Yeah.
from it'll add a little bit more. But if you do it 12 hours, it's going to be a whole lot lighter. It's going to be like your typical broths.
Right.
And 72 hours, I did mine this time probably about 60 because I started it Saturday night and I pulled it this morning.
Okay.
So but I mean,
I do my first batch ends up dark like that because I'll usually go 60 to 72 hours.
Yep.
But then I'll just add water to it again and I'll run it again.
Yep.
For about 72 hours. And it's still great.
It is.
It's just lighter.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people that do that with their bones 2 and 3 times. I usually do it 2. I have done it 3 with some beef bones, but
okay. Yeah, with the beef bones, I think you can definitely get away with 3.
Yeah. By the time you get through 2 rounds with chicken, they're pretty demolished.
Yeah. And then after the second round with chickens, I even pick out the bones and we'll dry them in the oven.
Yes.
And then they're so brittle that you can crumble them with in a grinder or just by hand into a powder, which is really, really good for your garden.
Yeah. Yeah. You got me doing that. I never used to do that. And I was like, that is brilliant because I buy bone meal.
I'm sure I got that from somebody else. I didn't invent it.
Well, it's brilliant. And
yeah, I mean, because we're so those, waste not, want not, I love finding a use for everything.
Yes. But so when you guys get your turkey, when you're done with your turkey and you've picked all the stuff off of it, if you are like me and got a flipping 24.5-pound turkey, it ain't fitting in one slow cooker. Yes, there's 3 of us this year, y'all. Oh my word.
Mine is 16.9 pounds, and I think there's maybe going to be 4 of us, maybe. But I'm so excited because this is the first year that I've gotten a pasture-raised turkey.
Oh,
from a local farmer, and I'm super excited about it.
There's nothing like them. I've been doing that for 4 years now, and nothing like them. I got mine from
I was so happy to get this connection for a local turkey farmer.
Yeah, what's her name? If in case anybody's listening to us from the area,
I have to look up the name of the farm, but it's out of Beaver Dam.
Out of Beaver Dam,
Hanover County.
Okay, cool.
But anybody interested in that, send me a message or send us a email on wendysonwellness@gmail.com.
There you go.
I'll look it up.
There you go. Perfect. And again, I got mine from Connie at Faithful Friends Farm. Robert and Connie, they're just salt of the earth people. She apologized to me for the turkeys being so flipping big this year. She said they were just so happy and healthy. And I'm like, please don't ever apologize.
Don't apologize for that.
Because she said a lot of people were looking for smaller turkeys, and all the ones by the time I got to her were 18 to 24 pounds. And I'm like, I mean, and no hormones, no nothing. Please, I'll take them.
That's right.
Freeze leftovers. I don't care.
That's
good.
Right.
But anyway, yeah. So when you get them, if you need to cut them in pieces, bag them up, put them in your freezer, do one at a time. If you only have one slow cooker, like most humans, I'm the one that has 3. I used to have 4 and one of them cracked and I never replaced it. I think I'm good with 3. So I'll do, like I said, the turkey neck and the giblets. If I don't use the giblets for my gravy, sometimes I do. I may do that this time. But I'll do at least the turkey neck in one, and then I'll just rip apart the carcass and put some in each. And it's incredible. It's incredible. Yeah. And then, like Wendy said, whatever leftover pieces and parts you have from your veggies. So everything you would have thrown away,
Even your onion peels,
Yes.
garlic
Garlic peels.
peels, all of that. Save
Yep.
it all.
Hmm.
Don't throw any of that away. The tops of your celery stalks,
Yep.
all of it.
Yeah. Yeah. It all gets used. And
Yes.
you know, when in the summertime, it's great because, you know, like when you're snapping beans and you're snapping off the pieces that you know, the ends,
Yeah.
that all goes in there.
Goes in there.
Everything. I mean, the pea pods, you know,
Yes.
anything. Oh my goodness. I love
All of that. The shells on beans.
Yep.
All of that.
I love free stock.
That's
And
right.
I can promise you, even though Kettle and Fire is a good brand and it's clean and it's freaking expensive, this is about as close to free as you're going to get, and it tastes 1,000% better. So
it's going to have so much more in it.
Yeah.
And just so cost effective, just to
Yeah.
use what you have instead of throwing it away.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. Now, and I can tell you, when you're getting them from the store, they're using their scraps too. That's all they're doing. They're just using whatever scraps didn't get used in some other recipe. So, you know, in some other thing that they're making. So
just not with great ingredients.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I will tell you something I recently learned that I found thought was interesting. When you are making this, yes, choose whichever you prefer. I love the deep robust stock. When you are making this to drink or to use in large quantities, if you have any kind of inflammatory condition with an elevated like homocysteine or CRP or any kind of elevated inflammatory markers, you're best to do the lighter. You're best to do closer to 12 hours because it can release some of the inflammatory properties with the longer cooking. Now, if you are not prone to that, it doesn't hurt a thing. And especially if you're not drinking it. Now I will drink this, but I also don't have any inflammatory concerns because of the way I eat and all the other things. And I just don't have any of I don't have any of those markers in my blood work.
Right.
So, but if I were to, I would back off on that for any that I drink in that way.
Yeah. And if you don't know and then you're in doubt, then go with the lighter, go with the shorter time making it.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, one other thing that I did ahead, and I'm going to have to pick them up. These are my ones on purpose because
those look good.
These are our graham cookies.
Oh, yummy.
These are my favorites. They
yummy.
are so tasty. So I've got the broken ones here because I've got the pretty ones over on another plate that I'll be able to serve as regular cookies. But all my broken ones are going to get ground up into powder because that's what I use for my pie crust.
Yep.
And nice. I have a couple of pie crust recipes I make. I do a walnut based one. I do several different ones. Wendy and I both have done the walnut ones quite a few times.
The nut ones. Yeah.
Yeah. The different nut ones. But I just decided this summer so funny story, because I've always got a story.
The s'mores, right?
Yes. I had made a ton of these to go camping with because we use these for s'mores. Instead of graham crackers, I make the graham cookies. I do homemade marshmallow. We get the Enjoy Life chocolate chips or a Hue bar or something like that. And we have s'mores and they're incredible. See, we don't suffer in this lifestyle. But so I made these 2 huge pans before we went camping in July. And Bill, trying to be helpful, my husband, trying to be helpful, threw them all in bags. No, I take that back. I had put them in bags, but I had them setting aside. They had just finished cooling. He throws them in all of our food that was going on the bottom. So I had, like just tons of crushed cookies, and we were eating pieces, and we found a few good whole ones for to share with everybody and all that stuff. But by the time we get to the end of our trip, I'm like, there is like this much of just
crumbs.
I can't waste this. And so decided to do it for a pie crust. Girl.
Game changer. That's a game changer because I love pie with the graham cracker crust. I just don't like the graham crackers anymore. So I either started doing the nut crust or, but yeah, definitely those cookies are a game changer. I'm actually making a molasses cookie today.
Ooh, I love molasses cookies. I have a
Yeah.
great recipe for one too. You'll have to share with me what you're doing. That's exciting.
Okay. I will. I can share that recipe.
What I'm doing 2 pies. I'm gonna be doing those tonight. One is Bill's favorite, which is his, pumpkin cheesecake,
Oh yeah, I love
the
that
no
one.
bake.
Yes.
I make what I call pumpkin cheesecake pudding because he can just eat the innards. He can
It's
just eat
good. I mean, it's that good.
it is. But I'm putting it in in the graham cracker crust.
Okay.
And then Jacob requested my chocolate pudding pie,
Oh.
which he does not know is chocolate avocado pudding, but he
Okay.
loves it. It's one of the many ways I hide avocado for my baby.
Nice.
And he doesn't know it. So we're gonna keep that
Nice.
quiet. He's not on X. He's only
I don't
8.
think I have that recipe for the chocolate avocado.
Okay, I'll have to share that with you. I'll share that with everybody.
All
We'll
right.
do that for sure. So yes, lots of things like that I do ahead just to plan. But I mean, we do homemade mac and cheese. I'm not going to do it this year. I went with everything that they were requesting, and they didn't request that this year because I'm making it next week for our big family. Thanksgiving and Christmas that we're doing.
I have the must-do sausage balls. That's a must.
Yes.
The crack in the pan. That's a must.
Yes. Yes, I am making that. Crack in the pan is what we call the cornbread.
Cornbread.
So this is a recipe that we have. It's so funny. Wendy helped me perfect it. It was the only recipe that I could not get right clean, and it took 12 years of trial and error, and finally, was it last September, October you were here?
It was your book launch. It was the book.
It was it? Okay, so it was, but it was last year. It was last.
We had time to just play around with it.
Yeah. I was thinking it was Bendy Q. Wouldn't it been?
Oh, it might have been.
Yeah.
It might have been Bendy Q.
So it was last fall, and Wendy was here, and I was like, look, this is the last thing I cannot figure out how to get right. And I would make it because everybody wanted my cornbread because it was amazing. Yes. But I had to use the Jiffy corn muffin mix. And so I would never eat it. My family wouldn't eat it, but whenever we had a big crowd, that's what people wanted. Yeah. So I said, Wendy, we got to do this. We got to figure it out. And we
were determined.
Oh my gosh, it is better than the original.
It is. It really is.
I loved Bill's reaction when we first served it to him, and he tasted it and he was like, "You've got to be kidding me. This is better than the original."
He said, "Y'all did it. Y'all did it better."
So yes, that is being served. That was a big request of his for tomorrow. So definitely making that. Deviled eggs. I've got the turkey brining right now. I'm going to smoke that. We had to put it in a big old 5-gallon bucket, that big old 24-pound beast. But I'm
traditionally roasting mine.
Okay.
Rick said something about smoking it, and then he hemmed and hawed too long for me.
Yeah. You know why I like smoking it? Because it frees up my daggone oven. And
and you got that great smoker.
Yeah.
We don't have an electric smoker like that. Yeah. And that might be put on a wish list because it just makes life easy.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that if I did it on the smoker that we have, that would tie up lots more of my time than I want to spend.
Yeah. No, I love it. I will put it in the smoker tonight before I go to bed.
Okay.
Bill will be a sweetheart. Like, we've got a baby, and he'll get up with me in the middle of the night, and we'll alternate and we'll check it. But honestly, when you're first starting, as long as you load it with a bunch of wood chips, you only have to check it every few hours. It's not bad. No. So we'll each check it once in the middle of the night. And then tomorrow, I'll keep it going. Because it's 24 pounds, it'll probably be a good 16 hours at least.
Oh yeah.
If not 18, it's going to be a lot. But anyway, it's so worth it. And the bones for the broth, when it is smoked, that's why I smoke all my whole chickens now.
Yeah, because it changes the flavor in the bones.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's a very different thing when and I've got them labeled that way. I've either got my smoked chicken stock, or I've got my
Nice.
regular chicken stock, and same with the turkey, my smoked turkey stock. And then if I roast it,
Nice.
it's separate. But yeah, so total game changer. So let's talk about cupping.
Oh,
I know you were wanting to talk about cupping today.
I was, because I took that class with my friend Alexa at Wisdom Electric.
Yeah.
Amazing. And Rick and I have owned a set of healing cups for, I don't know, probably 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
They've been in a box underneath my bed because I didn't know enough about them to feel comfortable using them.
Mm-hmm.
But now she gave us in the class, she gave us a set of cups. And if you don't know, I'll just pull one of these little ones out. And I also bought this little set because mainly I wanted it for circulation in my feet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I'm on my feet a lot and sometimes my feet hurt. So these little ones
Mm-hmm.
are made specifically for areas like your feet and heart, just little, little areas. So it's like you just kind of press and it sucks.
So is it like silicone?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. And they have these little vents in them.
Okay.
But it's almost the same kind of idea as like acupuncture. Okay. So and it works better when you use oil on your hands or on your body or whatever. And, I have that rod in this arm.
Yeah.
So this time of year, where that arm really shattered, it just kind of aches and hurts when the weather changes. And I found that cupping actually kind of circulates things around. Ooh. So it's like you could put the oil on your arm and then put a cup on and you can leave it there with light suction. So like this is a set of 4. Okay? So they're like stacked like Russian dolls. For depending on the size of the area that you're working on. Okay. So you oil it up and then just kind of suction it on. You can do it real hard to where the skin's really sucking up through there, or really light to where it has suction, but you move it around. Okay. And I found so far that's what makes my arm feel a lot better, is just light suction and just move it around. And it just opens up the fascia and everything. Yeah. And allows blood to flow through better. And it's interesting because I always thought that cupping came from the Chinese ancient practices. But there's now evidence that the Aztecs and the Egyptians did cupping practices. And I'm like, because they found the pictorials of them cupping. And I'm like, okay, that is amazing. Because I always thought it was Chinese, because it was an actual herbalist, alchemist from China that started it there, that we thought was the earliest. But it can decrease pain in your muscles and your joints. It just makes space when you're moving things around. It makes space, breaks up that fascia. I know a lot of people are doing cupping on their faces and stuff now.
Really?
I would be a little leery about that, because the suction, it can give you like hickey-like marks. So I wouldn't want to be, I guess if you're doing it really light or something, it's okay. I don't know. This is going to be something that's going to be evolving and ongoing, because I'm going to use it a lot more now that I know how to use them properly. And I'm going to experiment with it a little more and learn a little more and get a little more in depth with it. But because of this arm and the issues that I've had, I'm going to be doing a lot of my shoulder just to for range of motion and movement, just because it's just from that accident, just gets a little stiff, and that down here just aches. So I'm just trying to learn how to get that a little better and a little more movement and flow, it's really good for carpal tunnel and tendonitis, things like that. If you have those kind of issues, just to open things up and move things around. It's fascinating to me. It can be It can help go faster. What is the word I'm looking for? To heal faster. Like if you had a surgery or recovery from something,
Yeah.
it can help you heal faster by cupping it. And I think that's just because of getting the blood flowing.
Yeah, the
Because
circulation.
anytime you have the blood flowing better, it's
Yeah.
going to heal faster.
Yeah. The same
Right?
reason behind why we try and get people moving as soon as possible after any
Yes.
kind of surgeries or anything, because you've got to get the blood flowing
Right.
for the proper healing. So yeah,
Right. Because if the blood flowing there and it's flowing properly, then it's gonna heal faster. You know?
Yep.
Let's see, what else? Anything that's inflamed, it gets the inflammation moving with the blood to get it like drained out through the lymph system.
I was going to say, like the lymphatic drainage.
Yeah, because when you're cupping an area, like if you were cupping the legs or the thighs or something like that, because it can help with like cellulitis too, because it breaks up the fascia.
Sure, that makes sense.
But when you're cupping, you want to rub whatever area you're cupping, you want to rub it to the closest lymphatic system.
Okay.
Just like if I'm cupping my arm and shoulder and stuff, I would, after I'm finished cupping, I would just kind of rub towards my armpit.
Okay.
Okay. So it goes to drain out anything that you've broken up. You're going to want to just kind of push it to where it's going to flow out of your body. And if you were doing your legs, you wouldn't want to push everything up like toward your growing area, your leg creases. I find it absolutely fascinating.
That's awesome.
You know, and it's just moving. And everything goes to moving. Get up and move more, get the blood flowing better.
Yeah. Yeah. That it makes me wonder if this wouldn't help, you know, because one of the things we really encourage for our folks with brain fog and people that I help treat with any kind of inflammatory process affecting their brain, we talk about how important it is for them to do cardiovascular exercise because you need that brain flow to their brain. I mean, the blood flow to their brain.
Yes.
It makes me wonder if there wouldn't be a way to promote that as well, you know, to help with
sure, because even if you look up, I forget what the technical name is for it, but it's almost the same thing where you push pressure points on your face and then draw them down through the lymph system, you know, because a lot of times you can do it with your knuckles and just go across here and then down because you're pretty much just clearing things out. But there's pressure points on your head too.
Yeah.
If you feel the back of your neck and all like that, there's so many pressure points that you can, definitely. I don't know how well actual cupping would work on your head with hair and things like that. But
I'm thinking like back of the neck, you know.
Yes, absolutely.
Carotids, you know, all in here.
Yes. Because I know in the class, there was one lady that's where she keeps all her tension was right across the back of the neck where the shoulders meet. So she would just put a couple of the little ones and let them set and then move them a little bit and let them set and move them a little bit. And I mean, she said she felt great by the end of the class.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it just kind of gets things moving.
Did she happen to mention anything about people with some of these autoimmune joint disorders like rheumatoid arthritis or things? I'm thinking about for Bill.
Well, she says it works great for arthritis, and she said mainly it has to do with breaking up the fascia.
Okay.
Because the fascia tends to, when it gets, it's almost like a knotted ball.
Okay.
So it takes so much to get that to loosen that when it's in a ball like that, that's the carpal tunnel, the arthritis, you know, the pain in the joints and all of that. So it's like, you know, I've had Ashley Black's fascia blaster for years.
Yeah.
A little one. And I have just used that thing. And every time I've ever used that, it leaves bruises. But they don't hurt bruises. They just look bruised.
Yeah. You definitely don't want them on your face.
and the cupping is kind of the same way. They will leave hickey like marks, but they don't hurt. you
Gotcha.
know. And
Gotcha.
if you are cupping and it hurts, then you need to release the pressure. It's not
Gotcha.
supposed to hurt.
Gotcha.
She did recommend have a candle burning while you're doing it, because when you take it off, there's a energy source that comes out when you take it off. So you want it to like burn up in the candle,
Gotcha.
because it's like a detoxing.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Interesting.
Man, it is fascinating, and it's not supposed to hurt. So I mean, she said if it hurts, change it.
Okay.
Lighten the pressure, move the spot. Your body's gonna tell you if there's a spot, and I put it on my arm one day and it feels good, and I put it on my arm another time and it really is just uncomfortable and it hurts.
Yeah.
Then that's telling me not to do that today.
Sure.
Move up, move down, move somewhere else, but not there.
Yeah. No, that makes total sense. Total sense. Awesome.
Yeah. So very cool. So fascinating. And I'm looking forward to practicing with that a little more. And
yeah. You know, we talk about this all the time, but it is so incredible how many things are available out there that can be part of our personal home healing, our personal home therapies. There's so much out there now, to be able to get your own CGM and monitor your real-time blood glucose. Yes. I've got one. I'm not ready to talk about it yet. I just signed up for one that monitors the respiratory exchange ratio to tell you how much how much fat you're burning versus carbs that you're burning.
Oh, cool.
It's interesting because it's an old therapy. It's a therapy that used to be specifically for, like sports trainers, and you would have somebody run on a treadmill and blow and, have like this machine, like a what do people wear at night? CPAP, that kind of thing, to measure what you're blowing off. If you're blowing a higher percentage, because it's measuring your carbon dioxide,
right?
And if it's more carb driven or if it's more fat driven, and it greatly affects your metabolism.
Yeah.
So
I think I saw an ad for something like that the other day about it. You breathe into it when you wake up in the morning.
Yeah. Okay. And there's several different ones out there now. I went with one that Dr. Mark Hyman recommends because I love him.
Yeah. And it might have been him who I saw on X advertising
it. Maybe. But so I'm going to try it for a couple of weeks before I get overly excited, because I love to have things like this to share with my clients.
Yes.
Because when we can get the real-time data, we can make some massive changes.
Absolutely.
I mean, the CGM is a game changer, and, just having those types of things. But this cupping just makes me think of something else we can use at home. We have the ability to do red light therapy. We talked about the other day, a couple weeks ago, we talked about when we were talking about seasonal affective disorder, and we were talking about being able to get your own lights, and the very lights that we were looking at 20 years ago that you would have had to pay $700.
$1,000.
You can now get for $60.
Yeah.
So and they're great. They're very
there's so many things, even down to the cold shower.
Yeah.
Or a sauna.
Yeah.
Because they're making so many small home-sized saunas now.
Yep.
I mean, and the prices are steadily coming down on things like that. And there's so many different modes and modalities of just natural things you can do to heal.
Yeah. So, for all these years, I've been preaching food, which will always be my foundation.
Oh, absolutely. Food is a huge part.
Yeah.
Because we all have to eat.
Yeah. But to know that there's all of these other options out there in addition to, I mean, there's no reason why we can't take control of our health. It's such a beautiful thing to be a part of in this time of history that we are in, and we can take so much into our own hands.
That's why I was so excited I'm finally making those connections I need to make locally for farmers and stuff, because I felt like it was overwhelming and a challenge at first. And it is challenging until you meet the right person.
Yeah,
And
true.
then once you meet the right person or you come across the right website,
Yeah.
then they kind of direct you to other people. And it's been a beautiful thing. And I am so grateful and thankful.
And what a crazy thing, just like we were talking about with the Thanksgiving, that everybody thinks we're weird because we cook everything from scratch and cook everything
Yeah.
natural and healthy and clean. But how crazy is it that we have to get excited? I mean, I do get excited. I'm not saying we have to, but I do get excited over finding natural farmers when what the heck 100 years ago they all were,
Yeah.
but now there's so few and far between. It's only like 1% of all
Yeah.
farms
Yeah.
are actually regenerative,
Yep.
pastured, doing it right.
Yeah.
And so it's such a blessing for us to be able to hopefully make that shift. Wendy and I have dreams of having our own compound
right.
one day, having our own farm together. And
That's right.
and I want so badly to go take some of these courses in regenerative farming, because
Yes.
in regenerative agriculture, because we already grow everything organically and all that, but I just know there's so much more to learn to do
Well,
it.
yeah, because how can we do it? How do we do it better?
Yeah.
And utilize the same mindset that we have in the kitchen of waste nothing.
Yeah.
Reuse everything and make it the best that we can possibly make it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to growth and expansion. And I do feel and see like things are going to change on a massive scale. I think that we are going to see a lot more regenerative, sustainable farmers. You're going to get to know them, because I think that the more people talk about it, the more it kind of spreads out. I mean, look at Joel Salatin and Polyface Farm. I mean, you can, if you're in your area or my area, you can go online and you can order right from them, and they have drops all over the place, from Annapolis to Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
Once a month, and you have that opportunity. So that's always an option.
Absolutely.
If you don't currently know your local farmer.
Exactly. And find people who are like me and Wendy that are into natural healing and in your local area. Get to the farmers markets and start asking questions.
Yes.
That's what I do. I don't feel bad at all when I start asking them, so what kind of chemicals you spraying on your stuff?
That's right.
And you can
it's
tell
important to ask, because Wendy and I both have had the experience of running across people at farmers markets that were
shady,
very shady, even to the point of possibly buying food from a grocery store and trying to pass it off as
100%.
Organically grown.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, when you go to the farmer's market in March and they're selling fresh apples, ask yourself, where are they getting their fresh apples from in Maryland in March?
That's right. Yeah.
So some of it takes a little bit of common sense, but understandably, and I'm not saying that you don't have common sense if you don't think that way. I used to go to farmers markets and blindly just go, oh, it must be great because it's here.
Me too.
When you start realizing that you have to question everything,
Yeah.
But the mama movement.
I think the best advice that you ever gave me about the local farm thing is go there.
Yeah.
Find one, go there, talk to the people, look at their farm. Anybody that's out there that's legit, they're going to love for you to come visit.
They do. And I learned that from Robert and Connie more than anybody. When you have somebody who is like, yes, please come visit our farm, they are proud of what they're doing.
That's right.
They are proud of how their animals are raised. They are proud of the fact that they are not spraying all their crops. They are proud to show you all that they're doing. And that's what you want. You want to get your food from places like that. So I love it. So girl, what you got going on this week?
Oh my goodness. I'll share this. I made some new lip balm. I don't know if you can pick it. It's got a pink tint to it because I put rose clay in it.
That's beautiful.
So the rose clay is supposed to be more medicinal. It's also got peppermint in it because tis the season.
That's what I do. I always put peppermint oil in my.
I love peppermint. It's something about, I don't know. I just love it. Also, I have, which we'll talk more about this later, but my dear friend Tracy Bell went foraging for sweet gumballs and brought me a whole bag.
Ooh, yeah, I want to talk about that in
Yes.
another episode or so.
Yes, in another episode, we will talk all about the sweet gumballs. So thank you very much, Tracy. So just basically this next week is going to be just cooking,
yeah,
decorating, enjoying,
yes,
being grateful and thankful, which we are very grateful and thankful for all of our friends and people that we don't even know watching us.
Yes,
Learning and taking this journey with us. And I hope everyone has a blessed Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and please, if you like what we're doing, share.
Absolutely.
I will tell you that I'm going to try my best to enjoy as much of my Thanksgiving as possible, but my gratitude is massive, along with a lot of work this week. Because finally, Monday,
Wendy has relaunched.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. I got to follow the camera. We are now Freedom Holistic Wellness. We just rebranded, relaunched. This is something that I was so excited to do. And I have done very long videos explaining why the relaunch, why
y'all run, don't walk, run and go check them out because she tells you everything you need to know and you're going to want to get in on this.
Yes. But I will just tell you a couple of the biggest highlights. First of all, our new website is www.freedomholisticwellness.com. And my new email address for that is wendy@freedomholisticwellness.com. But you can also always reach both me and Wendy at Wendy's on Wellness at gmail.com. But anyway, for Freedom Holistic Wellness, because for those of y'all who don't know, I finished my doctorate over the summer. I finished my PhD in integrative medicine. And so it was time to add in more modalities. I've always worked with people just on primarily on nutrition. So now we have all these different healing pathways. I have two new professionals that I've brought on board. One, the amazing Wendy Flournoy, to help with herbal support. Yeah, she's going to be our herbal support person. Everybody gets a couple of consults with her as part of the programs. And my dear friend, Monica Langdale, who is our resident personal trainer, who's going to devise some personal training plans, some exercise plans for everybody. Also, 2 sessions come with everything, but I'm just so excited. Also, because we're going to be able to reach so many more people. Up until now, I have had to fund all of our payment plans, which quite honestly has been terrifying as a small business owner who doesn't have, who isn't made of millions. And so now we have finally been able to partner with Klarna and Afterpay.
That's so exciting.
Oh my gosh, the payment plans. I was giddy. I was with my daughter on the phone on FaceTime going through every single payment option. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I could have never done this for my clients. They are lower cost, lower interest.
Yes.
And I didn't increase any of our program rates. They are all either decreased or stayed the same. And I mean, to be able to offer all of these payment options to people, because I know, I mean, to work with somebody in holistic medicine, we can't take insurance. It's just the way our system is. Maybe the Maha movement will change that. That'll be amazing. I would love to be able to accept insurance.
Well, you probably could. You just have to go through 9,000 gabillion pages of red tape.
They don't like the education I got because the education I got wouldn't follow the Western medicine model. It's a fantastic school, but I love that about them. That's why I chose them, because the holistic schools are the integrative medicine schools that follow the Western medicine model are still pushing pills and procedures in the form of supplements.
Yep.
And so it's still,
and they're not very good supplements either.
It's still a materialistic medicine. Whereas what I have learned, and it's all very much, as natural as possible. Do food, do, all the natural therapies, do grounding, do all the things first. But because my doctorate's in integrative medicine, I know when somebody needs, the
Western
conventional
medicine.
medicine help.
Yeah, there's a place for it all.
100%. And the thing is, no country does emergency and trauma medicine better than we do.
That's right.
Nobody does. So you
Yep.
will never hear me say, "Hey, no, skip the doctor or skip the ER because you're having chest pain." No,
Right.
because
No.
if you're having a heart attack, nobody's going to get you, on the other side of that acute trauma better than our ERs in this country. But
Absolutely.
where we fail them in conventional medicine is acute problems. We also are a reactive medicine base instead of proactive. And so in holistic treatment, that's how we get to look at people. We get to get people, we can help them heal.
Yeah.
If they're just getting into this, we can help them heal. We can help them with any kind of chronic problems. That's what I meant to say. That's where Western medicine fails, is in chronic,
Yeah.
not acute. Acute, they do great. Chronic disorders is where the problem lies, because everything is pills and procedures.
Yes.
Um,
And that doesn't get to the root cause of things.
no. And you know what? I used to be so mad at doctors about this until I realized they get less nutrition training than we did in nursing school. And we got jack. And we got food pyramid, and we got stupid garbage science that is absolutely false stuff. And so, I mean, your doctors don't know, they don't know. But that's why I love what I do, because I have been able to help guide so many people to heal with nutrition. And now with Freedom Holistic Wellness, we've got a spiritual healing piece. I do have supplemental recommendations when we need them for certain healing pathways, inflammation reduction. We do trigger food testing. I do detoxes, elimination diets, macro balancing, all the things.
What do you have for someone who just wants to do it on their own?
I do have an option for a 1-hour consult, where maybe they just need, some guidance, and then they can just go forth and prosper, So I do have the option, and it's on my website. If you look at the Transform page on the website, we've got that as an option. If they just want to set up a 1-hour consult with me, and I can give them an emailed plan within 48 hours of, here's what I recommend. Also,
what's your most popular program?
Oh, the 16-week journey to optimal wellness. That is where most people join me. As a matter of fact, if you were to do the 1-hour consult, I will apply that cost of that 1-hour consult to any of my programs if you decide within 30 days that that's what you want to do. But the 16-week journey to optimal wellness is so comprehensive. We cover it all. We cover it all. And I've helped people lose 80 plus pounds that's not the norm. I will tell you, it depends on what they need. But I've helped people lose as much as 80 plus pounds in that 16 weeks. I've helped people gain weight, maintain, get off of blood pressure medicine, diabetes medicine, cholesterol, thyroid. I've helped kids that have severe skin reactions or eczema that we found were food related, been able to help them. So, it's so incredible to see the power of getting people with the right nutrition. And through Saturday, gosh, I don't want to miss this.
I was to say, tell them about your special you have going on.
Yes, we have
right now. You need to run.
Yes, it's only through Saturday. Y'all, I've been doing this for 4 years as a business, as actually seeing clients. But I have never blanketly done a discount off of everything. So if you go to our Transform page, we have 8 different options. 3 of them are only for past clients because it requires the learning they've already gotten in the other programs. But any of those 8 options are 15% off through Saturday. And I don't care if you're going on a cruise in January, you got the holidays, and you want to start in March. If you buy it now, you set the date that we start the program.
Nice.
So, excited. 15% through midnight Saturday Eastern time.
Nice. Very nice.
Yes.
Y'all better run.
So excited to finally have this launched. So
Yeah, I'm excited too. And Freedom Holistic Wellness suits you.
thank you.
It
Thank
does.
you. Such a blessing. All right, girl. That is it for us this week. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Welcome again to all of our new followers on Twitter. Excuse me, X.
X.
That's going to take some getting used to.
X. X.
On X. And hello to everybody who sees us live on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, and more to come.
Yes.
Check us out. If you go to my website, freedomholisticwellness.com, you can see all of our past episodes. I will tell you, bear with me, my son, my brilliant 31-year-old, informed me that the way that I have all of the podcasts labeled on the website is a horrible idea because they are just numbered. And so anybody's going to look at them and go, okay, let me randomly pick number 12. Sounds good. They have no idea what we're talking about, because on YouTube, I had the descriptions underneath.
Right.
So I am going to go in and edit every one of the ones that we've done to show what at least our topics are. So bear with me. If you go in there right now, it just says, wow, podcast number 15, so it will get updated. So
we are not known for our techie strengths.
No, we work great with humans, not so much with machines.
That's right. That's right.
All right, everybody. Have an amazing, blessed Thanksgiving. We love you all. We appreciate you all. Please share, like. If you see us on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. And we love y'all.
Yes, and happy Thanksgiving. Stay blessed.